It's John Wanoa here. Monday today is the 12th of October 2015. Just adding to the other video I just made. It cut short of the mark and left some bits out on the end. Anyway, I'll just continue from where I left off with this flag and our jurisdiction over what we do and proclaim to be the sheriff and marshals of the UN Federal Marshals on that 77 Cook Street seizure or confiscation of the land. We're within our rights to be exercising our own authority under this flag here, you see, of King William IV. It has just been passed in the New World Order with Obama and the Pope has used King William 8-point star as St. Patrick's order for his New World Order. Now those orders or new citations we are using, his counts of law, would be the first, I guess, to be exercising that right to use those laws in New Zealand. We are the legitimate and legal partner in a commercial contract, private contract, between the Native Hapu chiefs and King William IV with this flag that you see here, that the government of New Zealand is ignorant of the fact that it is a very powerful flag in the world. As far as England is concerned, with the Red Cross that you see here, and the other Red Cross in the corner, which is more significant to us, and the 4 stars in the corners, 4 corners of the earth, there, as the Commonwealth of the world in our own time, 1835 Declaration of Independence Day, coming up on the 28th of October every year since 1985. Mohi Manukau started and founded the Confederation, at least in theory, a written documents all the way through that I've been accustomed to up at Waitangi, Te Tii Marae. So I've kept all his documents right through and in continuity of sovereignty to King William IV in Britain, UK, that gives us the only admiralty left in the world now that is mortgage, levy, contract of commercial trading Bank of England pound notes, as it was then in 1888. King Tawhao had the pound notes legally, buying them from Britain. So I am carrying on that legacy with our chiefs up at up north, Ngāpui, and going up tomorrow on the 13th and having a meeting on the 14th of October. So those people who want to come and hear what I have to say, you can ask questions at the hui in Matauri Bay on the Native Marae. I've been there before, had some hui there with those people a long time back now. Since 2000 I've been going to Te Tii Marae and the other marae on the other side of the bridge in Waitangi. So I'm never short of any history of our connections to Britain. We have, on one side, we have the King here, and the Hapu natives. That's that title, straight to Britain. And then on this side we have the Queen and their 1840 Treaty of Waitangi at Te Tii Marae, the obelisk you see there, as to the IWI Maori. Okay, a totally different concept, and they do not have any of their own sovereignty or titles to the land. They borrowed it from this side with the king and the Hapu. Okay, so this side, the Queen, is gone. She has abandoned her people here in New Zealand, and they can't have sovereignty, continuity of sovereignty to her as their head of state under the iwi Maori. So on this side, with the king, it's still there, unbroken continuity of sovereignty to ourselves, our own sovereignty, to King William IV's sovereignty. Okay? So I'm just telling the story about our day, our celebration of the Declaration of Independence of the Hapu. At that time, 1835, there was no Maori, no such name. That name was invented by the Crown, the New South Wales government in Australia, that's set up here in New Zealand, up north, and illegally used their sovereignty from Australia to sell lands that wasn't theirs in the first place. So Britain came and confiscated all those titles and took them off and reissued them as British titles. Those are the titles I'm doing here in this flag in Auckland, and at least the original Manukau titles, straight to Britain through the Rogans, judges of that time. And also the Rogans were in down in Ratana, and also the East Coast on my landlocks over that period of time, 1880 onwards, when the Admiralty was changing into Vice Admiral, and that's when it went all wrong. When Queen Elizabeth got a hold of it in 1952, 1953, that's when all the laws went crooked with the fraud land titles in the Maori land courts. So now, I've been in real estate before to know quite clearly that the Lin's titles are alien from Australia, and the British Crown Grant titles in Auckland, the titles I'm dealing with, are quite different when you look at it from two different points of view. Crown Britain and Lin's Australia. Queen, Lin's Australia. Crown Britain, King William here. Okay? So we're sorting out the new laws of the New World Order, which is straight into this flag. King William is the 8-point star on this hat, and the new 8-point star that's on our new shirt I'm wearing here, and also here in this new badge, the new sheriff's badge here. Okay, so you can see I've just got another one made because the stupid police stole or took my shirt with this on it, and it belongs to the New World Order and our chiefs, and also belongs to the new 193 countries that signed the New World Order and their armies. So now we've got 193 armies behind this as being the top of the range, this and that flag here, and this flag. And King William is the King of Rome, and the King of Britain, and the King of many countries that we're his partner. We are his legal, private contract, trading, bank, business partner. Okay, so we haven't broken anything between our connection in Westminster Parliament, where he gave us that flag, gave us that flag to protect our business between here and Britain, and to give us free passage through the world, right around the world. That's why it's got 4 stars of these 8-point stars. I just want to make sure you know what I'm talking about. When these skeptics people are saying this is all made up, no, it's real. Until you see a pound note flashing in your face to bill you if you get in our road. Now, this 8-point star flag of King William's is his title as the Emperor, the Roman Emperor and the British Emperor. In this 8-point star, St. Patrick's Church Order. So the Pope borrowed this from Ireland to exercise his right as the order of the New World Order, and I'm as much Irish as my Cosgrove lawyer family of that time, and as much as the Rogan judges of that time. In fact, I'm doing their job for them and talking for them and the King at the same time, and in the right place to do that. So there's nobody's going to tell me otherwise not to do what I'm doing. So this is my job full time, to represent the surrogate King William IV, to talk for him until I put Ernest Augustus, King Ernest Augustus, as the new king of Britain, UK, which he already is, and the King of Hanover. So Ernest Augustus, if you're listening to this video, I'm just appealing to you to join me in taking up your position. I don't think it's a good idea to go in Westminster because it's dirty, and I don't want you to go in there just build a new one. But I'm going to use the pound note that we have a right to print and mint the gold coins to pay for everything against the debtors, levy debtors, and all the crooks who are being screwing the system with King William. So we're going to account for every fraud case by case, on what the Queen has done with our trust, with the Queen Victoria Trust. We're going after it with the military, the British military, to recover or salvage all of that King's Royal revenue that has been stolen. And we have the treatment for that, Ernest. We have that, the Hanging in Chains Act of King William the Fourth, and so I just read a little extract for it for all those people who are thinking thinking that I'm not being honest in what I'm saying. We have the right to use these acts of Parliament from 1830 to 1837. We're still locked in our contract with him as of that time period, and we haven't severed it. It's up to us to sever it in Westminster or otherwise in his estate land in Devon, England, Plymouth County, with the sheriff's badge. Okay, so that's my job, to go there as his partner to sever any ties with him, to transfer the title of his inheritance to his name and his position as king to you, Ernest Augustus. In the meantime, I'll be looking after the King's Royal Revenue because we're his commercial partner, and we hold the commercial rights to his fortunes that we're going to recover as his legal financial investment partner in business. Okay, so I'll just read a couple of things from this, the Act, the Hanging in Chains Act, 1843, Writs of Execution Act, 1833, C. 67, Admiralty Act, 1832, C. and the, what is this one, Punishment of Death Act, 1832. The Real Property Limitation Act, 1837, that was the ending of his time period as king when he died, and then Queen Victoria came in. So we've got the trial of felonies in certain boroughs, Act 1834. The Bankruptcies Act 1835. The Clerk of the Crown of Chancery Act 1835. And we've got the Customs Act 1835, 66, Declaration Act 1835, that's our one, the Declaration Act 1835, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm just quoting off our acts. These are our acts that we can use on anyone today, right from back then till today. These are for us to administer his business and ours. Okay, so we have the declaration, etc., to be taken by Sheriff's Act 1835. So the Sheriff's Act 1835 is what I am using today in our authority to confiscate any properties in the world under King William IV, surrogate king, and also his partner to speak for him, okay, as the New World Order. He is the New World Order that the Pope has put in place. So that has 193 armies behind me, and my hat that goes with it, okay? Okay, you police in New Zealand, are you watching this video? Because I'm just quoting off our acts, that is our business, that we haven't used it yet on you. We're about to use it on you in our law, because you have no sovereignty or jurisdiction over me and what I do with you in the courthouse. Okay? I'm just quoting, so you know when I go on the 17th of next month, I will be quoting from this book, that I can hang anybody with this badge on my land if you haven't got a title to it to show me in my law, the New World Order law, okay, the highest law in the world, and the biggest bank in the world is going to be Moai King William Trust Bank, okay, to recover everything that was used in his name without our approval. Okay, so we've got the Bastards Scotland Act 1836. Now it's getting grisly now. Section 22, capital punishment. And then we've got the Bank of England Act 1833. Okay, the Bank of England Act 1833. And the King's Seal Act. Okay, King's Seal. That's the King's Seal in the middle of that. Okay, you can see it clearer in that one. Okay, you can see it in the middle. Him and his Admiralty horse, King William IV, and his ship of Admiralty in the background. Make sure you can see it properly. Take note, please. I'm making this statement to you, and I'll be asking you 3 times to clarify myself. We hang the petty thieves and appoint the great ones to public office. Okay, and then we've got process in courts of law at Westminster Act 1832, section 39. Insolvent debtors, India Act 1834. And then we've got Buckingham Palace Act 1833. Then we've got Criminal Law Act 1833, C44. Inheritance Act 1833, C106, that's the one I'll be using on all the pound notes and the gold coins and everything. Those are our revenue collected in the courts. Inheritance Act. 104 Banknotes Act 1833, that's the Pound Notes Act 1833, C83. The Roman Catholic Charities Act 1832. You see, These are our acts. Customs and Excise Revenues Audit, Scotland Act 1832, 103. The Auditors Revenues Audit Act. That's what I'm going to use on you, New Zealand government, in the Treasury and the HM Treasury in London, under our acts of King William for the highest king in the world. Okay, and Crown Lands, Scotland Act 1833, the land on 77 Cook Street in Auckland is under these acts. Okay, you all got here on this flag, here, okay? And the Writs of Execution Act 1833. Now, it couldn't get any more grislier than that to you people who are going to face all of this, and me, the judge in the courthouse behind this side of the bar, okay? And your law will be tested, and the British military is watching you, and the British government's watching you, okay? So I just wanted to just make sure that this book here, I'll be going up tomorrow to Matauri Bay to explain how it works, and that's the overlaying title to this whole country and the world for that matter, because it's got the King William and Moai statue that you saw at the games, the Rugby World Cup games in Cardiff. The Moai statue came out of the ground. That's my own title, okay, from Tahiti that you're playing around with over there, the British are playing around with. Now this other one here is another title that's on that land block, is more, it's information through the book, and it's all affidavits to anybody who think they've got something better. You better put it in front of me at Waitangi on the 26th, 27th, 28th of this month. That's the Declaration of Independence Day, and that's another book there. Okay, you can see the pound note for 61 Cook Street, or 61 bar 1 Cook Street, or 77 Cook Street, okay, or 90 Wellesley Street. So this is the pound note against the actual land itself, 5 million or 2.715 million pounds, okay? That's just the land, not the person. The people will be charged £1 trillion a day. That's what I did, that's what I said. And these are all the notes against the property, that property, in this big book, okay? These are all the affidavits stacked up against that, and coming from British title as well as Gordon Brown there, way back in 2008, okay, for that land block, and every other land block right through the world for that matter. Okay, and this is another one with King William. You see all the books? That you'll have to come up against any of this, and none of them will have anything to stack up against this, okay? You won't have anything. You'll lose even before you get to London. Now, all those ones we're accusing of fraud and corruption on 61 Cook Street, you'll have to go to London, to the High Court. That's another book, so that's the last one of those books. And then we have the deeds of title, the original deeds of title, here from Britain, here. Okay, I'm just showing you, people. I'm in real estate, so I should know what I'm doing. Okay, so please don't think I'm fooling around. No, I'm not. I'm pretty real, and I'm pretty real to make sure you're not going to get away with nothing. Okay, and that's an old title here for Aoraki, South Island, Mount Cook, and Raki, Taranaki, the old flying through the air, how we got to levitate around the country, or from East Island, and all of that history is in this title. Okay, that's my own levitation from East Island to here. No one's going to believe that, but tough. We got our own stories, you got your own fabricated stories of your governments that are going nowhere, and it's all fraud titles, and you're going to get caught, okay? You're going to get all caught with the fraud. I'm going to point out all the fraud for you, And anyway, I'll just finish this video off, and I'll just show you the shirt. The new shirt is slightly greyish black in colour, because I couldn't find a one that I wanted. It took along about 3 hours yesterday looking around for one. So here we've got the King William and his 8-point star around his neck. So you might be able to see if I get. Oh no, I'll just take this off, and then I can show it to you. Okay. So there's King William there. Okay. See, you can see him and the 8-point star around his neck. Okay. You can see it right there. There. Okay. So that's his face. I'm wearing on my shirt. That's the authority of his emperor, the British emperor and the Roman emperor he is, and the New World Order he is, and I'm speaking for him. And his successor, King Ernest Augustus V, 63 years old, living in London. So I'm hoping that you are listening to this, King Ernest, and take up my offer to put you into Westminster to take the throne. We'll take the throne out of there and more or less get a new place. Okay, now this is the King of Hanover. That's your title, Ernest Augustus. You are the King of Hanover, the King of the Commonwealth of the world, and also the King of Britain, UK. That includes Ireland, England, Wales and Scotland, and Hanover, okay, and the Pacific Islands, Moai, and the Commonwealth of the world, or the New World Order. Okay, so that's Hanover there, and King William right at the top of my shirt, and then below him we have Moai seal, okay, of God's grace, face of authority. I'll try and get a better view of it. So that's Moai at the Olympic Rugby opening games where the Moai came out of the ground. So that's the seal there, and on the other side of him is King William's crown and his seal in the middle of the crown, which is his Admiralty ship in the background, and his horse. That's the Admiralty seal that authenticates all our documents of everything I write, however I write it, however style I write it in, is his authority, okay, to do what I do. Now on this side we got the Hanover, the coat of arms of Hanover, and then we've got, I'll put this, okay, we've got the flags here. That's King William's Admiralty flag, the Crown and Anchor flag there, okay, up the top. So that gives us the Admiralty, mortgage, liens and levy, banknotes and shipping around the world on that one. And then we've got the, what's this one? Hang on, that one there is, that's the British one, British flag. That's the British flag there, okay. UK, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and over here we've got the top one is the Moai flag, okay, with the Moai in the left hand corner, and the pyramid from Giza in Africa, and the obelisk that belongs to the Black African Nubians, and the red cross, the dark red cross, is the Moai of the spiritual blood, and peace, harmony and love for all people in the world. That's that flag. What's that one for? And the bottom one is the Confederation, the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag that you see behind me. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show here. And then on my right here, on my left, sorry, we have the coat of arms here of this is the King, the Roman Empire of the 6th of the, get my speaker, get my, okay. Now we have, I'll just put this here so we can see it. So this one on this side, oops, okay. So this one here is for the King George III, the father of King George IV, and King William IV, and King Ernest Augustus I as the Empire state, and also Hanover, and King of Rome, King of Britain, UK. So it's got a number of titles in there. So I just wanted to show you why I have that one there as the what is it? Four kings, and this one on this side is Hanover. Okay, Hanover, England to the right there, and Scotland, and Ireland, and Hanover. Okay, on that side, coat of arms. So I'm putting them there as for you, an ambassador for you, Ernest Augustus the Fifth, to support you as the ambassador for you to go around the world in the 193 countries, at least of the armies of the New World Order, and also for the 250 countries we have in the economy of that, to go straight around the world in partnership with you in Britain. The old Britain we're going to put back together and patch it up in a new place. So we're going to completely start fresh in Devon on your ancestors' land in Devon, Devon port there in Plymouth, England. And so I'm going there first to put the flag up in Devon beside his memorial and reinstate the whole of Britain, the new Britain UK, 4 nation state plus 1 Hanover plus the Pacific islands and Moai, so that's 6, and the King of Britain 7, and the King of Rome 8. Okay, so that makes up the 8 points of the badge, 8 points of the badge, Ernest, and I have all the history for you to take your place as the throne, and I will sack the Queen from our trust, the King William Trust, or the Queen Victoria Trust, and recover all that money that's missing, the gold that's missing from our trust, and recover it with the British military, our partners, the British military, the British Parliament, and you, the King, and also your son in waiting, Prince Regent, Ernest Augustus, he's 33, and you're 63. So we'll be preparing for that, for your accession to the throne, and boot out the Queen, and I'll sack her and arrest her and put the Hanging Chains Act on her, okay, because she's done very much wrong, as well as Tony Blair and Bush and Cameron and Philip Hammond, the foreign minister, and a few others that I want wrapped up, and others around the world, Obama and a few others that are following the Queen's regime of terrorism and theft and Rothschilds in that on our England land soil. Remember that I'm Rogan, the judge, here to speak like a judge and sound like one and be one. I am one by default of the Queen and her running off from Westminster into EU Parliament as a threat now, and as treason, and abandoning Britain with the money that she's taken out. So we're going after that, Ernest, and recover it. And your son, I'm hoping that he's a banker that'll come with us and get the bank, the Moai Powerhouse Bank going, and the Moai King William Commonwealth Bank of the World going. Okay, I've got that all ready to go with our economy and our Commonwealth government in this book, the new Commonwealth government of the world. Okay, so that's quite separate to Britain because we're going right around the world. Okay, so apart from that, I just want to let you see me in the uniform. It's a side-on view there. You can see a bit of it there, and I'll just hop on this chair so you can see me a little bit better. I'm just a bit tied up in here at the moment. And there, that's the bottom part and the shoes there. Okay, just to let you see that I'm really up to it and ready for action up in England. I'm ready to go to England actually, and waiting for your call so we can get this ship on the way. Remember, it's the Admiralty. That's the only Admiralty left on this planet Earth, because the Pope got rid of his Admiralty and UCC law and acts of civil law, canon law and courier law, and also the UCC law of what they're doing with mortgages, and law in the world now all around the world is gone, including New Zealand. They have no right to use any law on me next week or next month on the 17th, and then I'm taking these cases into the High Court of Admiralty in London. From the High Court here have no jurisdiction, and I'm pretty good with law as far as I'm concerned to adjudicate this court hearing myself. Okay, so other than that, I just wanted to just tell those people waiting up in Matauri Bay, and also that's for tomorrow, come along, ask all questions about this flag and where to from here, and how we're going to get going with the rest of the world, because I'm going around the world, not just up in Ngāpuhi. I've gone and did a lot of work, research over this full-time every year, right through the foreshore and seabed. I went to Wellington as one of 300 out of 3,000 chosen to go in the select committee, and so I had substantial case with the seabed titles. I'm still doing the seabed titles and real estate at the same time, defining what is a title and how the title came to be and what happens with the mortgages, and recovering all the debts that the Crown has impressed on people around the world. I'm doing this for everybody on this side of the bar, B-A-R in capitals. So all that fiction stuff, fiat money and all the fraudulent dealings are going to be placed right against the Crown. And I'll just quote, while the video is not quite half an hour, so I'll just finish off the last few moments of the video with the 4 counts that I'm using against the government, police, in my case on the 17th of November, next month. It goes like this. This is the Pope's actual words and citations he makes and I make that are the New World Order law that I'm using with this sheriff's badge. I have authority to use, okay, as King William. Alright, the first one. Count 1 is Pope Francis makes law, destroys every corporation in the world. Count 2. The Vatican created a world trust using the birth certificate to capture the value of each individual's future productive energy. Each state, province and country in the fiat money system contributes their people's value to this world trust, identified by the SIN and EIN numbers, for example, maintained in the Vatican registry. Corporations worldwide, individuals became corporate fictions through their birth certificates, are connected to the Vatican through law, Vatican to Crown, Crown to Bar, Bar to laws, laws to judge, to people, and through money, Vatican birth accounts, value to the IMF, to the Treasury, Federal Reserve, to banks, to people, loans, to judges, administration, and, wait for it, sheriffs, confiscations. Okay? Sheriffs, confiscations. That's what I did on that block of land, 61 Cook Street, 77 Cook Street. Count 3. Judges administer the birth trust account in court matters favouring the court and the banks, acting as presumed beneficiary since they have not properly advised the true beneficiary, that's you and me, of their own trust. Count 4. I'll explain in a minute. Judges, attorneys, bankers, lawmakers, law enforcement, and all public officials, servants, are now held personally liable for their confiscation of true beneficiaries' homes, cars, money and assets, false imprisonment, deception, harassment, and conversion of the true beneficiaries' trust funds. Now, all of these that I've just said are in the offence that the police arrested us on and the marshals last week. Okay, so they're offensive in a way that measures up to the charge that they put on us. Forced entry, Crimes Act 1961, Section 91, brackets 1. Forced entry onto the property, the land that belongs to us, the chiefs, that we've been telling them for the last 6 years, 3 months, 4 months, 3 weeks. Okay? So we're using this law against their inferior law of no substance, no sovereignty, and no continuity of sovereignty to Britain or to anything, just a whim in the middle of nowhere. Okay? So harassment, these are all the things that we're charging them with, and most of all, the forced entry of their ship of Admiralty, which is the judge sitting in his chair, okay, and rammed his boat onto our land by force entry, okay, and then setting up a bar to keep them on that side of the bar and us on this shoreline, and then whipping the money out of us by forging our names into capital letters, then hooking the money up. It's just saying here, the fiat money and all this beneficiaries' money, the true beneficiaries, which is you and I on this side of the bar, that they've been faking our names and taking the money out of our trust account, bank accounts, and putting it in their bank account, which has got our name on it, in capitals. That's fraud. That is fraud. King Ernest Augustus, that's what I want you to see, that I'm going to snap them once and for all in this court hearing coming up. I'm just warning everybody that I'm going to Waitangi on the 26th, 27th, 28th, Declaration of Independence Day for this flag here. Okay, that was given to us from a king. This is the only flag in the world that has a free passage to the well. It is a bank trading flag. It is a protectorate of the British military on its own. It is a 4-star, 4 corners of the earth flag that is allowed to go anywhere in the world and trade without interruption or interference with our private contract between us and the King of England and King of Britain, UK. None of anybody's business to be mucking around between us and Britain and this flag. Okay? So that gives us autonomy. It gives us the right to be in business and doing our own thing than to speak to someone less of Detective Natalie Mountain, Natalie Flower Dew Brown, who's going to be prosecuting me, the prosecutor. I'm a private prosecutor. I'm a judge. I can call myself anything I want, especially when I'm on my own ancestral lands. Now, you have to tell me, where do you get your jurisdiction from for a start? Whose sovereignty are you using for your authority? And what gives you the right to be talking to me in the New World Order? And how I'm dressed, like this, with my flag. Where's your flag? Where's your title? Where's anything you've got? Where's anything you've got other than a whim? And you're not careful, you'll get hung with this law I'm allowed to use on you. Okay? I'm allowed to use, when I go to Britain, take this court case to Britain because you can't deal with it. You have no Admiralty jurisdiction because the Pope took yours away and left mine alone with Hanover. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you, that I have complete autonomy to do what I like with you people in this country, you crazy lot of people who are like Obama, schizophrenic and running out of control, and all those skeptics who have been writing on my YouTube derogatory things about me. I can see what the Pope is saying here for harassment. Anybody that's been harassing me and the marshals and saying, and even the news, Stuff News and TV1 News, you're going to get the bill, all of you. I can build a whole lot of you, company, and bankrupt you with the pound note, okay? I've got the pound note in here, 970 million trillion pound note, and there's nothing you can do about it, because I'm the one who can write on it anything I like to your name. There it is, okay? It's better in colour. It's better in colour on our Facebook site. There. Okay, that's Jamie and I, and she's a Patrick. Okay, Patrick is this Patrick, St. Patrick's 8-point star. That's her and me. And I'm the Cosgrove of Ireland, okay, as the lawyers, and she's a Patrick as being Patrick herself to this star. Okay, so we do have a direct bloodline connection to Ireland and this authority, okay, myself the authority, and King William, the King of Ireland, and also the King of England. I'm more Rogan judge, to speak like a judge, okay, I'm a judge, put it away. I just know just as much as a judge. In fact, I know more about this country than the judge himself, because I've got the titles right here that he hasn't got, okay. I've got the titles here on these deeds, all these deeds, and he's not a real estate person, neither is he a lawyer. He's only a judge, and I'm everything else in the bank as well. Okay, so these big old titles are what I'm accustomed to, alright? So please don't make derogatory statements about me if you haven't got titles or haven't got information and just the whim and just making stupid comments with nothing behind it. Okay, and all those anonymous people throwing stones, you'll find somebody, the marshals will come and get you and boot you out of this country. Okay, that's what's going to happen. That's what they're doing in Australia. They're booting all the Kiwis out of there who they think they shouldn't be there. So that's all I want to say for now. I just want to invite people who want to come to the meetings up north. I'll look forward to seeing you there at the Confederation Day, Declaration of Independence Day, on 26th, 27th, 28th of October 2015. Hopefully we can wrap this all up once and for all and put a sock in it and get us going. Okay, I'll get us going because I think a lot of people are getting problems getting money into the country, because the government will always call it terrorism money, and that's why you probably don't get the money. The only way to get the money is to confiscate. You don't buy your land back, because only stupid people buy their own land back. We confiscate anything that's been stolen, and you'll find everything is stolen. Okay, around the world, right where the Queen went. Follow the money. That's what the Pope said. Follow the money where it goes. Okay, and you'll find gold at the end of it that's been stolen as well. Karen Hudes is still talking about the unclaimed money that's in the Limitations Act. Doesn't affect us. Nothing affects the king. Okay, nothing affects the king. He put them all this Admiralty together to get the ship to carry the gold around the world. It was the Queen has no connections to King William, and Salic law prohibits women from succeeding to the King's Bench royal revenue. All that money was derived from his authority, and I'm there to audit everything that was derived using his name, okay, and his Admiralty, because the Queens do not have Admiralty to carry all of that spoils around the world. So I'm going to investigate the Queen and the trust, where all the money of the trust, because we're still beneficiaries. And you heard what I said with the Pope saying about the beneficiaries. Inappropriately, they used us as if they are us to extract money from our accounts for their account and their bank account. And the banks that they used were the fictitious beneficiaries in our name. That is the offence against the police and the courts, judges and the lawyers, and everybody in the establishment with the Queen is going to get the bill. 970 million trillion pounds spread out amongst all of you offenders in the world. There would be roughly 2 billion people out of the 7 billion that are behind all the racket in the royal families, and the elite will all get the bill. And the armies will go and get them from the 193 countries in the UN. We're going to the UN with a delegation. I'm taking a delegation there to represent the natives here in New Zealand. And I'm acting as the legal advocate and creditor for the Hapu, Native Hapu, not Iwi, Hapu. There's no such thing. The Iwi's trust will be shut down. The Maori Land Court will be shut down and taken off and put back into the King's Bench Court titles. Okay, right through the world. Right through the world. Thank you very much. John Wanoa, Auckland, New Zealand. I'll see you later. And don't forget, King Ernest Augustus, please give me a call or contact me as soon as possible so that I can get to England and sort this lot out on your estate lands in Devon, England, and our partnership with our trust, and put it back into perspective and build a new throne and to replace Westminster Parliament, make a new Parliament, okay? And thank you, because that's what's needed right now. Thank you. Bye. See you later again.